Hey Thunderbolt. What's broken solar panel subscriber count?
It's over 9,000!
Before we get started, I just want to tell you all where I've been all this time. As you might know, I do get grounded every once in a while, causing me to go on hiatus. A few weeks ago, I got grounded from making YouTube videos for reasons I won't go too deeply into. Let's just say I made my dad mad again. Just 'cause, you know, 'cause I can. And I didn't really care enough to try and fix it. In fact, I got so apathetic that I almost pulled the plug on Tornado Siren Madness entirely, just so I wouldn't have to correct my behavior at all. But luckily, that didn't happen. I did eventually come to my senses and fix what I did and save TSM from utter destruction. I'd also been working on a new mini siren that I won't quite reveal yet. Stick around to the end of the video to see what it is. But unfortunately, after I'd finished the first part, my 3D printer turned to shit and started glitching all over the place. I got prints like this, and even this. I tried as hard as I could to fix it, trying over and over again with a certain print, but almost every time I tried, I had to stop the print early due to the 3D printer basically being constipated. And yes, I tried replacing the nozzle, and it didn't work. So eventually, I looked up a YouTube video on how to fix this under extrusion issue. And it turns out it might be an issue with the coupler on the hot end side of the filament tube being worn out and unable to hold the tube securely. So I've ordered a new coupler, and a new tube as well, just in case it needs a new tube too. And I'm hoping this works. I'm also going to try putting my 3D printer on a more stable surface, as the table it's on now has a tendency to wobble a bit. Now why the am I telling you all this? Let's just get into the Q&A. Brian Schlip Jr. says, for 9,000 subs, what siren are you planning to make next in the future? Well, I'll show you at the end of the video. Like I showed a censored pixelated version, because I'm keeping it under wraps until the end of this video, right during the beginning of this video. Thomas Castellanos-Arroyo commented, dude, okay, so you able to post links to your updated music? Because I like what you did with that clip of the Big Crush. It sounds more instrumental and 8-bit. It is a great change. Keep up the good work. Thanks for the compliment. I actually, believe it or not, didn't even finish that. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and snap to a screen recording of the song running right now. So as you could hear there, it was playing a little bit glitchy because of how it was like using a lot of the CPU or something. I don't know, because there was like a lot of the CPU being used. I don't remember what it was, but something was causing it to play glitchy. I think it may have had something to do with my screen recorder causing it to glitch. I don't know. Whatever it was playing glitchy in that instance, in that video. Max Saito says, are you planning to make an episode for TSM Meet E57 or DS977? I think I have done a TSM episode that features E57, but I haven't done one with DS977 yet. And I don't know if I plan on doing that because I don't know what siren that is. Here, let me look it up. It's just a knockoff of the E57. It looks almost exactly like it. Although I did hear what it sounds like. It sounds like it's 8-port 50 Hz instead of 9-port 50 Hz like the E57 is. So I guess it does have a bit of a difference. So anyway, let's go on to the next one. Lion Flyin commented, "Can you have the Siren Madness have the modulator?" There's been a modulator in Tornado Siren Madness ever since, I think, Meet Modulator or Meet EOWS 612 or whatever the episode was called. It's been there for a long time. He's almost always been in Tornado Siren Madness. He pops up every once in a while anyway. Show Me Sirens commented, "Hey BSP, what do you use to make your siren synths? I need a siren synth to make, so I'd really like it if you told me what you used. I use Audacity to make the 8-bit siren synths using sawtooth waves and chirps, which in Audacity's case is defined as the as just a tone that rises or drops in pitch as it plays. So yeah, because for some reason Audacity calls that a chirp. I don't know why, but that's what it's called. That's what Audacity calls it. Well, my version of Audacity has that. Some really early versions don't have that, but the version I have does have that. So that's how I'm able to make those siren synths. Isinio27 commented, "Where can I submit scripts?" Just put them in the comments of the latest video, and maybe I'll find it. Maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't. It's kind of a 50-50 chance if I'll actually do it or not. Rukum Sadachi commented, "Weekly schedule gets broken. God, bad word, BSP. Did you get grounded again? Head bashing desk intensifies." Yeah, maybe you shouldn't be doing that to yourself. You could probably get a concussion. Yeah, like I said in the beginning of the video, occasionally I probably get grounded and end up going on hiatus. Trapstar commented on the Mini P10 Siren outdoor test video that it seems to be fluctuating in tone. I suggest you check what's wrong with it. There was nothing wrong with it. The wind was just really fierce that day and blowing it all over the place and messing with the pitch of the chopper. So there's nothing wrong with the siren. Remember at the end of the video, there was a video of it sounding better because it was indoors and not affected by wind. CN5733 commented, "Where'd you 3D print this stuff?" I used to 3D print stuff at DoSpace. Now I 3D print stuff here at home now that I have an actual 3D printer. But again, I still gotta get it fixed since it's sort of broken right now. And finally, a comment from Middies and Stuff on my Mini P10 outdoor test. "Nice, but can you do them with the MBJ or Mega Blaster Jr.? I can, but it's not really loud enough now. Remember, the amplifier is starting to give out because it didn't have a heatsink on it, and I'm starting to regret not putting a heatsink on it because it seems to have overheated at some point. I'm thinking it might be a little bit louder if I maybe put a heatsink on a new amplifier chip. I'll put a new amplifier chip on the Mega Blaster Jr., and then I'll maybe put a heatsink and some thermal paste in between the chip and the heatsink, so that way we know that it's most likely not going to overheat. So, yeah, now it's time to show you my surprise siren I featured a pixelated picture of in the beginning of the video. I'm making a miniature Bosai Musen. It's a mini Bosai Musen horn. It doesn't look anything like the one from Tornado Siren Madness, except for maybe NEC from Tornado Siren Madness, because he has the long horns, as well as one short horn in the front. But I am planning on making one of the short horns, like what the TSM standard Bosai Musen has. That's what this part is. This is the part that holds the reflex horn, that's what it's called, the horn that has that little stick in the middle, you know, the traditional PA speaker horns or whatever. Anyway, that's what this holds. The Bosai Musens, a lot of them have them too, as well as these longer horns with the same speaker driver in them. Now, a reflex horn works where the speaker shoots the sound through one pipe of horn, then it kind of reflects off the back of the little stick in the front, I guess, of the horn. Then it goes into the back of the horn, and then it comes out the front of the horn. That's how a reflex horn works. This horn, the speaker just comes straight out the front of the horn, so we probably get better sound out of this than we get from a reflex horn. Now, originally, I thought it'd be kind of cool to actually use the real hardware these Bosai Musen sirens get their chimes from. It's called the Toa melodix. But after seeing how much these things go for, I noped out they're faster than you can say meloderp. And just for the heck of it, I searched up the cards that the melodix uses to play the chimes. But then I noped out they're even quicker when I saw the price was almost the same as the unit. If anything, the price was actually larger than the price of the unit itself. So, that's why, instead of that, I went for something much cheaper. This old MP3 player was broken, but I fixed it. What I did is I
took the buttons were all broken off inside, so I had to resolder them and put a new button in here for the power button. So what I did is I recorded some YouTube videos I found of these actual melodix chimes that were like high quality recorded. I was only able to get a few of the chimes. I wasn't able to get all of them. I was only able to get a few of the chimes that these things play from videos that show them high quality. I'll link a few of them in the description if you want to know what I'm talking about. But anyway, first I'm going to go ahead and plug in the amplifier. You see here the amplifier for this thing right now is only a temporary amplifier. It's a TDA2822 amplifier chip, which is the same type of amplifier chip that's in my computer speakers. That's not the same type that's in the Mega Blaster Junior. No, that's an LA4440 IC. I wanted to try to use something that would probably be more energy efficient, but I probably understand why I should have used the LA4440 IC, because of how this particular type of chip auto-adjusts the volume if the input volume is too high. So when I tried to plug my Mega Blaster Junior's tone generator into it, instead of having a constant volume, instead of going it went like it like it shot down in volume a bit. So that's why at some point I'm probably going to replace this with an LA4440 IC amplifier chip circuit, and basically the same type of what's in my Mega Blaster Junior now. But I'm going to put a heat sink on it with some thermal paste so that way it doesn't overheat, because I already made that mistake with Mega Blaster Junior. I don't want to make that mistake with the Mini Masai Musen. But anyway, let's demonstrate some music here that this thing plays. So I turn this on. Make sure the volume is all the way up. I'm going to demonstrate yuyake koyake here. I'm going to first set the camera up on something that the horn is pointing relatively near the camera from. So, as you can tell there, it sounds fairly realistic. So if you're seeing right now, I have the speaker attached with a rubber band. That's because I still need to 3D print the part that holds the speaker in place. This is originally for this speaker, but this speaker isn't loud enough, so I decided to use a speaker like this one instead. This one's a woofer. This one's a tweeter, or something. That one is 0.5 watts at 8 ohms. I don't think you can see that. Didn't focus. And this one is 5 watts at 4 ohms. So this one has a bit more bass frequency because of how it's a woofer. And so it's actually a full range speaker according to eBay, because that's where I got this. I got two of them because they came in a pack of two, which is good because I needed one for the long horn one and one for the short horn or reflex horn, one that I'll be 3D printing in the future once I get this working. But after looking at the Amazon order for the new coupler and tubing, it turns out that it's actually going to, according to Amazon, possibly not come until April 30th. So this thing may not be even fully completed. It may not even be continued to be worked on really until April 30th, when I could potentially get this thing up and running again properly and not get crappy prints like this. The one I showed you earlier with the screaming earlier when the picture showed up. Ah! So this speaker will not fit in that enclosure because the back part of it is wider than the original speaker. So yeah, that's why I had to remodel and make a new version of one of these, and that's what all this was over here. This was just a second print of the other one that holds the crappier speaker, so I can't use that. It also glitched. Can't really see it, didn't focus. I had to manually focus it when I was taking the pictures. These are all canceled prints, or prints that were stopped early of attempts to make the new part that fits the new speaker. because of how they kept glitching out and making terrible glitches and errors. It was just awful. So yeah. Hopefully I'll get this working at some point, and maybe it will come earlier than April 30th. We'll just have to see what happens. I'll keep my eye out. I'll check the mail every once in a while, or my mom and dad check the mail every once in a while because they're more in charge of that than I am, checking the mail. But yeah, I might as well show you a little bit of in-depth of this horn, just a little bit. As you can see, I got some screw mounts here so I can attach it to a wall or a 2x4 or something, or I can 3D print like an actual stand for it if I wanted to, for it to stand on. And if we look down the throat of the horn, we'll be able to actually see the speaker. See a little thing gleaming there, a little sparkle, that's the speaker. So if we peel back the speaker a little bit, we can see that I've made a cone shape in the back of the horn, so that way the sound's a bit more directed towards the opening there, the little hole that the back of the horn is on. Get that back on there. If I can. There we go. So that way I can get as much sound as I can from that speaker to come through the horn as just a louder sound than if I just had the speaker alone. And this is actually supposed to be a representation of what some Bosai Musen horns look like. I'll just show you a Google image of one right now. This part of the horn I downloaded from the internet and modified in 3D Builder so that way I could attach it to this part of the horn, which I actually did custom make with the 3D Builder available shapes, as well as this part here I also custom made, and this part was also custom made by me. This is the only part that I downloaded offline, but then modified to fit this horn and make it look more realistic. And then I just 3D printed all of it with my 3D printer, and then I just put it all together with some screws I got from Ace Hardware. The reflex horn is the same case. Everything was 3D modeled by me except for the curvy horn part. That was only modified by me. It was already made. I just downloaded it from the internet and modified it so that way it would fit this project. So now let's show you a distance test video of the mini Bosai Musen playing yuyake koyake from down the hallway. We shall end this video with the mini Bosai Musen playing the super eerie dual-tone attack wail used by these things whenever North Korea launches a missile over Japan. This is Broken Solar Panel signing off.
It's over 9,000!